Alright, welcome to my first devlog with voice. There's quite a few new items and weapons, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. So we've always had a single action revolver. I just changed the model. To fire, you pull back the hammer, then you pull the trigger. There you go. New way to eject shells is just to pull trigger on this little rod right here. And of course, you can always just use momentum to eject the shells. New feature is decocking the hammer. To do that, you just hold down on the touchpad and then pull the trigger. I'll release the hammer without firing the weapon. So double action is new, but I put it on the old model. All you have to do to fire this weapon is pull the trigger. It'll pull back the hammer and rotate the cylinder all in one motion. Or you can pull down on the touchpad to lock the hammer in place. And then it's just a real light pull of the trigger to fire the weapon. And just like the other revolver, you can click trigger to eject a shell. Or momentum. So a new item in the game is a speed loader. Just fill it up with some shells. Load up. Two different sizes, one for 6 shells or bullets, and then that one holds 7. And with the work that I've done on the hammer, it made it really easy to add a deagle. So all you have to do is chamber around by racking the slide. It'll pull back the hammer when you do that. You can decock this gun just like revolvers. Hold down the touchpad, pull the trigger, and you're good to go. Right, just pull back the hammer again. Nice. I like the way that looks. So this is the SPAS. This has got to be one of my favorite weapons of all time. It just looks beautiful. Probably fell in love with it because of Jurassic Park. Holds 8 plus 1. Quite a bit of recoil. It's all temporary, but also an automatic shotgun. Right. Okay. Next, been quite a few changes to the pump shotgun. So the most basic change is the pump will lock in place when you fully cycle the weapon. So now it's locked. Even if I pull trigger, it won't do anything until I pull the trigger with my primary hand. It'll unlock. And every time you fully cycle, it'll lock. One more change. The slider on the shotgun, or at least the pump shotgun, acts a little bit different than any other slider in the game. And I'll demonstrate with this. So if I grab this action and I move my hand up and then back down, it won't start to move the slide until I reach that original position that I grabbed it at. Same if I move it back. So now I move my hand quite a bit further than the action can move. I have to move my hand back close enough to that original position that I grabbed it at before the slide will start moving again. And that works well with pretty much every type of weapon except the pump shotgun. And that's because every time I pumped it, my hand would just naturally keep getting moved further and further out. And then I'd have to do one big motion to pull it back in place, and it felt unnatural. But now, with those changes, the gun is effortless to shoot. We also have a shotgun shell holder. And the weapon is now, like I said, effortless to shoot. That feels absolutely fantastic. Alright. We also now have drawers. They act a lot like the doors in the game. And we have a flare gun. So, still working on the flare gun. I got a little eager to release this video. But you can open up the little hinge by clicking left or right on the touchpad. And it only works with shotgun shells right now. You can load it in. You can either click trigger with your free hand and pull up to lock it in place, or you can just use your momentum like the double barrel. Pull back the hammer and fire. Like I said, I'm working on it. The hammer falls really slowly for testing. Right. Yeah, last weapon is the MP5. Absolutely gorgeous model. So for those of you who don't know how this weapon functions, there's a little lever on the front of the gun. Pull that back, and you now have a chambered round. What's kind of unique about this weapon is you can lock this hinge up. It'll keep the bolt open. You can load a mag, pull down. It'll slam forward, and yeah, that one feels great. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Oh, might as well show you this. It's a compass, so it'll always point north no matter which way this is rotated, and you can flip it open and close with the touchpad. So it's held a little bit weird, excuse me. I'll change it so you hold it like this later, but yeah. Okay, I think that's